You've heard the phrase mind over matter a million times, right? But what if it wasn't just a motivational poster? What if your thoughts, your beliefs, could physically change your biology? Today, we are diving deep into a remarkable study that took this question out of the realm of philosophy and put it right under the microscope, looking for cold, hard evidence in our brains and in our blood.
So here's the central question they wanted to answer. Can a single week of focused meditation physically change you? And we're not just talking about feeling calmer or more relaxed. We're asking if it can measurably alter your internal chemistry and literally rewire the connections inside your brain.
To figure this out, scientists from UC San Diego and other top institutions ran this incredible observational study on a group of healthy adults. They took biological snapshots, blood, brain scans, the works, before and after an intensive retreat, basically looking for clues. And honestly, what they uncovered is pretty mind-blowing.
So what in the world did these people do for 7 days straight? Let me tell you, this was no walk in the park. It was a highly structured, super intensive program designed to really push the limits of that mind-body connection.
The entire week was built on 3 main pillars. First, a whopping 25 hours of lectures, all hammering home this idea that the mind has the power to shape reality. Then, 33 hours of guided meditation, all about turning your attention inward. And finally, 5 hours of what the study called healing rituals. Now, this is fascinating. It was basically an open-label placebo. Everybody knew there wasn't a magic pill, but they all engaged with the genuine intention of healing.
All right, so the first place the investigators went looking for evidence was, you guessed it, inside the skull. They used MRI scans to compare brain activity before and after the retreat, searching for any changes in how the brain was operating. This is clue number 1.
And bam! They found a huge difference right away. You see, normally, when your mind is just wandering, a part of your brain called the default mode network is firing on all cylinders. That's the source of all that internal chatter. You know, thinking about yesterday, worrying about tomorrow. But during meditation, activity in this autopilot network plummeted. The mental noise just got quiet.
A great way to think about this default mode network is like your brain's screensaver. The moment you stop focusing on a task, it pops on and you start daydreaming and ruminating. What this retreat showed is that meditation is incredibly good at just turning that screensaver off.
But that's not all. The brain also became way less compartmentalized. Usually, different parts of your brain work in their own little separate clubs. Well, during meditation, those walls came down. The brain became this globally integrated network, allowing information to flow much more freely and efficiently across the whole system.
Okay, a quieter, more connected brain is super interesting. But the scientists didn't stop there. They wanted to know if this purely mental shift could have a real physical effect on the body. So for our second clue, they looked at the participants' blood plasma.
And this leads us to a truly mind-bending question, really the heart of this part of the study. What if you could somehow capture the biological essence of a meditative state in someone's blood, and then physically pass it on to other living cells? The experiment they designed was just beautiful in its simplicity. They took blood plasma samples from before the retreat and then again after the retreat. Then, they took these 2 different batches of plasma and dripped them onto neurons, actual brain cells that were growing in a petri dish.
And the results were just, wow. The plasma taken before the retreat, it just caused normal baseline neuron growth. Nothing special. But the plasma taken after that week of meditation, it was like miracle grow for brain cells. It actively spurred the neurons to grow longer, more complex branches, a clear physical sign of the brain building new connections.
I mean, just let that sink in for a second. Something in the participants' blood had fundamentally changed. The state of mind they cultivated created a chemical cocktail so potent it could physically boost neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to grow, even in cells completely outside of their body.
This discovery was just the tip of the iceberg. The researchers then did a deep dive on that plasma, analyzing thousands of different proteins and metabolites to see the full picture of what had changed. And this is our third and final clue.
And they found massive, system-wide changes all over the body. Their metabolism was retuned for better energy production. Their immune system did something really weird. Instead of just turning up or down, both pro- and anti-inflammatory pathways lit up at the same time. It suggests the body was doing some kind of major house cleaning. And maybe most incredible of all, the body's own natural pain-killing system got switched on.
And remember, those healing rituals? This quote from the paper is so important. The participants knew it wasn't a magic cure, but the conscious act of healing, combined with the belief that it could work, was enough to trigger a real, measurable, physiological placebo response. No trickery required.
The data on this is just undeniable. Take beta-endorphin. It's one of the body's most powerful natural painkillers, part of our built-in opioid system. After the retreat, the levels of this stuff in their blood just went through the roof.
And it wasn't a fluke. The same thing happened with dynorphin, another heavy-hitter natural opioid. It also showed a huge increase. They weren't just thinking themselves better. Their bodies were actively pumping out the chemicals to make it happen.
The takeaway here is absolutely profound. Through a combination of belief, intention, and meditation, these people were able to consciously tap into their body's own internal pharmacy and release powerful natural painkillers on demand.
So let's recap. We've got a quieter brain, we've got blood that literally grows new brain cell connections, and we've got a flood of natural painkillers. How on earth do all these clues fit together? Well, the study's authors have a unifying theory for how it all works.
They see the brain as a prediction machine. So your brain doesn't just sit back and react to the world. It's constantly making its best guess about what's going to happen next, based on all your past beliefs and experiences. And then, and this is the key, it adjusts your biology, your hormones, your immune system to match those predictions.
And this is exactly how the retreat managed to hack that prediction machine. The lectures were designed to update the brain's core beliefs. The healing rituals created this positive surprise, opening the system up to new possibilities. And finally, meditation loosened the grip of those old automatic predictions, creating the space for a new reality to take hold.
So in the end, this wasn't about some kind of magic. It was about systematically reprogramming the brain's predictive model of the world. By changing its fundamental beliefs about what was possible for the body, the brain sent out a cascade of new chemical signals that created all of those incredible biological changes we just saw. And that leaves us with this one last huge question. This study gives us concrete proof that our minds can directly and rapidly change our physical bodies in really profound ways. So if all of this is possible in just 7 days, it really makes you wonder, what are we truly capable of? What are the real limits of this connection?